Welcome. So, thanks for sticking with me. If you're returning, if you're new to my podcast, then hopefully you'll enjoy. If you do, please subscribe. Please get your notifications. If this is a podcast you listen to live, then comment if you can. I'm going to do a cross-platform, so hopefully do like Facebook Live, Spreaker, YouTube, and Facebook probably, yeah. And cross platforms I can go live, TikTok as well, but yeah. So, episode 3. Just before I start, just a reminder, I am not a medical professional. Everything that's contained in these podcasts are for entertainment value only. If you do enjoy or like what you hear, please consider following me. And if you do have problems, I would highly recommend you speak to a medical professional, GP, if you've not spoken to anybody about your mental health before. And then from there, hopefully you'll get referred to psychology, psychiatry, CPN, key worker, depending on the severity. But always push. If you've got a doctor that you don't get on with, get another doctor. You have the right to choose. So you don't think that you're getting anywhere. This is with medical professionals such as psychiatrists as well. If you don't feel that you're getting on with them or you're getting nowhere with them, then request another and you'll get referred. But also, things like groups are super important. I know some people just hate crowds of people or groups of people more than one. I understand that. Being an ambivert, which is both an extrovert and an introvert, I can see both sides. But I highly recommend groups. If you can't do groups, maybe Zoom calls with the video turned off. Get involved and get your experiences over, and you never know, you might get some useful pieces of advice that you can then help your own life, So, anyway, episode 3, help. Well, obviously I've run through some of the things very briefly. I can really only give you my experiences and experiences of friends I've spoken to, obviously without specifics, so that, no specifics. So, first port call I went through was the doctors with an addiction to painkillers and alcohol. So my first port call into mental health was that, and I wrote everything down before I went. So that I basically just I just read off the sheet, and because of that, I didn't have to look at the doctor, if you know what I mean. I would just basically, and he can then assess the situation. So my anxiety levels, even though they're quite high, because obviously going to see the doctor and stuff like that, see, that's the thing as well. I think female population are pretty good at getting help if something goes wrong physically and mentally. But guys, even if it's a physical thing, like, they just kind of shrug off. Oh, it's fine. It'll be fine. Legs hanging off. Oh, it's fine. Yeah. So mental health, even that, is stigmatised. When was the last time, for my generation, it was seen as a sign of weakness for guys to cry, But anyway, so slightly got off topic there. So doctors, first protocol. For me, eventually, through my journey, and we're not going to go through all my journey today, but in terms of what I've got now, and I know that you can push for now in different areas. If you're listening in Scotland, obviously everything that applies to me applies to you guys. UK, some of them, not all of them, because of the Scottish system. Worldwide, hopefully your local health provider whether or not you're in like in Americas where you have to pay for medical, or Europe where it's, you know, part of your national insurance, where you pay into that so that when you are sick or something goes wrong, then things get paid for. So anyway, and journey, right? Okay, so I have what's called a CMHT, which is Community Mental Health Team. Now, that was a referral back and forth from like doctors, psychiatrists, back and forth until I got the referral. Now, since I had the referral, I've been the most stable that I've been, because it involved meeting up regularly, going for walks, talking. Yeah, you know, these things you need to be 100% honest, because if you're not 100% honest, you can't get the proper help, basically. So that's one of the only piece of advice I'll give you just now. Anyway, so that was that. Lost the train of thought. Where was I going? Medical professional, CMHT. Okay, so CMHT. And so with the CMHT, I've got a key worker, I've got CPN, which is a clinical psychiatrist nurse. I can utilise psychology. I haven't done that with them, but I have done psychology. Psychiatry, they've got an in-house or a couple of in-house psychiatrists. And this is my area, by the way, sorry. An occupational therapist. This is my area, which is West Lothian, Scotland, which is central Scotland, in between Edinburgh, Glasgow and Stirling. So it's Lothian, NHS Lothian. But West Lothian is obviously split up into different areas, so this is a specific area in West Lothian. So it's a certain team that looks after me. It's just, of course, there's a large population and they need to cover all areas and stuff like that. So anyway, so that's sorted. So my CMHT is a godsend, because they communicate with the doctors, they communicate with outside, they help me with forms, they help me with ESA, with PIP. They've got the right involvement in groups, therapy groups. You know, I've been part of art therapy, gardening therapy, TCV, volunteering, volunteering into British Heart Foundation, Livingston, volunteering with graphic design for Bipolar Scotland, and for mental health advocacy project West Lothian, based at Strathbrock Centre. And obviously the Brock as well. The Brock's quite good. So that's a combination of different interests, you know, gardening, woodwork, crafts, and because of COVID restrictions, everybody moved outside. But the happy coincidence, what happened was everybody started talking to each other, which was great, you know. So the people that were knitting were speaking to the people that were doing woodwork, and they didn't do that inside because they had separate rooms. But now, because of the COVID, everything's outside, everybody's mingling together and everybody's making new friends, which is really good. So a lot of these therapies are therapeutic in different ways. Things like groups and stuff like that are to do with human contact. As human beings, we need that physical presence of another being, because we're all made of the same stuff. We're all stardust, you know what I mean? We're all the chemicals, we're all, whatever race, creed, sexuality, anything like that, it doesn't matter, we're all part of the same system. So anyway, I might get a wee bit distracted before I finish, because I'm working on like 2 computers at the moment, a laptop and the thing. I'm just juggling my time. ADHD and bipolar, brilliant. Right, sorry, where did I get to? Help. Okay, so that's CMHT. So if you're lucky to have a CMHT, that's there. If you're not lucky enough, the highest you can probably go is the psychiatry. But the waiting list for psychiatry, especially the first time you get seen to in the area, it's terrible. It's like about 18 months. If you get it earlier than that, you're really lucky. But 18 months, imagine if somebody's like suicidal. 18 months is just, it's way too long, way too long. So it needs to be referred to the right groups or therapies, so it needs to be an instant referral to, right, here's a support group, go every week or whatever and get some support, because they need to be guided. I know that some doctors are quite good, especially ones that have got interest in mental health. That's one piece of advice I'd give as well. How I was saying about picking your own doctor and stuff like that. Try, if you can, request and see if any of the doctors in your area have an interest in mental health and autism, because 9 times out of 10 they'll have the correct referral groups that they would refer you to, so you get the right help. So I highly advocate, 1, going to your doctor if you think you've got problems. 2, request that they have an interest in mental health or autism, or whatever your ailment is. If it is just a sprain or whatever, then go to a physiotherapist. But it's very difficult when it's a mental health problem. Anyway, so so that's the help from the NHS system. I've been on anxiety management groups, stress management, confidence courses, distress tolerance courses, anxiety management, and I've met a few friends actually through these groups, so it's been quite good. What else? Mindfulness, a couple of mindfulness classes, art therapy, art link, that was quite good. Creative side, creative juices going again. The only thing other than mindfulness, there wasn't really much spirituality stuff. A lot of the CBT, I've done CBT, DBT, self-management training course from Bipolar Scotland, which was amazing. It was the best. If you've got bipolar, get in touch with Bipolar Scotland. They're doing a project at the moment which is the self-management course, but light, so it's done over Zoom, like 2 hours every week for X number of weeks, because that was one of the best trainings that I've ever been on, was self-management through Bipolar Scotland. Obviously it's cancelled at the moment because of the COVID restrictions, but we still do everything over Zoom. So I'm sure they've perfected it, but it's light, so it's not obviously the full face-to-face. But also peer support and mentoring, that's really important. You should be getting advice from people that have been through whatever your ailment is. Again, it's like speaking to the experts. If you want to be good at business in a certain field, talk to the expert in that field. 9 times out of 10 they'll be quite open in how they got there, because people can be nice, they don't have to be cutthroat or whatever in business, Anyway, so that was that help. Other help, self-help books, that helped me with ADHD and stuff like that, or the bipolar. I needed to learn things. Audiobooks are really good as well. I listen to a lot of podcasts about mental health, about training your brain, keeping the brain going and stuff like that, and different suggestions. So always keep your brain going, whatever you do. Read a book, read an article, watch a YouTube video, watch something, entertain yourself. Even just entertainment usually helps. For me, it's music, dancing, obviously. Watching a good movie. Music's so important. Vibrations. We're all vibrating at different frequencies. If you can tap into that frequency, music, movies, visual, kinetic, auditory, smell even, whatever you can tap into, Anyway, I've got a minute left, so I'll just say my cheery byes. Cheery bye-byes. So come and join me, whatever platform, TikTok, Messenger, they're the main ones that I use at the moment, and WhatsApp, of course, WhatsApp. So if you want to stay in touch, my email is stef@kaboom.land. That's Stef, STEF, at kaboom, KABOOM.land.land, and let's have a chat, see if I can do some help, or give some help your way. Namaste, brothers and sisters. Bye.